Congratulations, we finally had a really great day here for Nvidia. The stock was up roughly 4% today, sitting at $109. Now, obviously, there's a lot that's going to happen this week in terms of things like macroeconomics that can impact the overall stock. But on today's episode, I want to take a closer look at some recent news impacting Nvidia, from recent updates on their Blackwell production, from analyst updates, from so many other news impacting the overall AI server space. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so first I just want to start off with the overall AI server demand. We are hearing reports that the AI server demand momentum is unfazed by Nvidia's GB200 delays. And remember, these GB200 delays that we keep kind of hearing about, it's not confirmed, but like many people have said, there's a lot of smoke in this fire already to kind of confirm that there's some truth behind it. Because of this, I want to say maybe some investors are expecting the worst in this upcoming earnings. But one thing that we've talked about in this channel plenty of times is even if Blackwell is delayed a few months, maybe even a few weeks, the demand for H100 and H200 are still strong, that I don't believe it's going to be any real impact. Now, obviously, I want to say the market to some extent might be pricing in some delays. So if earnings come out and they say, hey, look, no delays are for the Blackwell platform, I think that would be very bullish. And if there are some short-term delays, I think some of it has been priced in, and it's not something that I would be worried about. I think the more important, if there are delays, are hearing from Nvidia on guidance. But like I mentioned earlier on, I think the demand for H100, H200 are still pretty strong. Now, we also did hear reports that AI servers boost a lot of ODM's revenue for July. We can see Inventec and Wistron, their July sales did come up, and they were up thanks to the overall AI server demand. So for those that are not familiar, like TSMC, a lot of international companies do report revenue on a monthly basis, and that's how we can kind of keep track to see how the AI demand is going. So right now we have a lot of bullish sentiment from, hey, look, AI server markets continue to be strong. We've heard CapEx from big tech players already continue to increase in forms for the upcoming quarters and versus last year. And like we're seeing right now, AI servers are also pretty strong. And like we saw last week, Supermicro did mention that, hey, look, they expect their revenue guidance for the upcoming year to be very high. So overall, we're seeing this bullish sentiment towards Nvidia and their AI chips and the demand for AI servers, which all bode well for Nvidia. So again, I'm just going to keep reiterating because we just keep hearing all this negative stuff about Nvidia, and I just want to showcase the opposite end of all the bullish things that we are hearing. And you guys know this channel, while I am bullish in this stock, if there is any negative news, I would definitely bring it up to you. So if you haven't, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button, as you're going to get any and all type Nvidia news, either being bullish or bearish. My goal here is not to be a perma bull or a perma bear, is to just share all the data that I can find. So with Nvidia being up a nice amount, we also did see Supermicro have a nice day today. The stock was up roughly 6%, sitting at $540, where I believe, yes, last week the stock was sitting in the high 400s. So congratulations to anybody that picked up in those bottom 484s. You're already up over 11% on those purchases. Now, we do have other Nvidia news, but first I just want to say thank you all for the support on the ebooks. For those that are not familiar, I do have two ebooks. My first is kind of like an encyclopedia of semiconductor public companies. The second is earnings insight of the current earnings that are happening right now. The great thing is both ebooks are living documents, so as I update them, especially the earnings on a weekly basis, you get the updated version for free on your email. And if you buy both ebooks right now, you get $20 off automatically. So make sure to check that out, and I appreciate all the support. Some other things that we did see for Nvidia is two bullish sentiments from analysts covering Nvidia. The first was Bank of America, which called the stock a top pick. Obviously, Nvidia in the low 100s seems very attractive in my opinion for that dollar cost averaging. The second analyst was a UBS, which indicated that the Blackwell delays may be less significant than initially thought. So again, we still don't know what's going on, but UBS believes that, hey, look, they while we've been hearing that it might be 3-month delay, as some of the reports are coming out, UBS believes that it's actually maybe 4 to 6 week. So again, if a lot of the delays are kind of priced in, hearing things like this could be a nice bullish sentiment for the overall stock. The analyst also says that while the delay may be even 3 months, it's going to be invisible to most, if not all, end customers, right? So it's not really going to be anything that really dictates any revenue loss, as there's still so much products with the H100 and the H200. The other great thing is UBS continues to have their price target on Nvidia at $150, and at the current price of 109, that's over almost, I wouldn't say a 40% raise if I'm doing my math correctly right now. So obviously we can see a nice bullish sentiment for Nvidia at current prices. The other thing that we have here for Nvidia is these are rumors, and these are rumors that I don't know if they're gonna come true, but if they are, we'll probably hear more about it during their September event, where they kind of talk a little bit more about consumer products. But there are reports that Nvidia and MediaTek, which is a huge phone processing business, are working together to design a PC chip expected to launch by the first half of 2025, and this is going to be targeting Intel's market share, AMD's market share, and Qualcomm's market share. So again, I'm not too sure if this is actual true. We're going to have to wait maybe just a month. I believe in September or October we get another big event from Nvidia where they showcase a lot of consumer products, and I think if we are to get any confirmation on these rumors, is going to be there. But if it is the case, this is definitely maybe a small growth opportunity for the stock. As we know right now, the data center space is where Nvidia is going to continue to dominate and make all its money. Now, another stock that I just want to take a closer look at recent updates is AMD. AMD was up roughly 1.8%, sitting at 136. I believe AMD at these levels is amazing, and this is where I wouldn't mind loading up the truck if it wasn't already in my top 3 position. So some recent news with AMD: they completed the acquisition of Silo AI, which is going to help them kind of increase their AI and software solutions. This was a $665 million all-cash deal, and the acquisition is complete. Nothing crazy there, but it's just an AMD increasing its AI and software solutions. The other thing is there are reports that AMD has increased their server market share both in unit and revenue against last quarter and year over year. So it seems like they are taking market share from Intel on the server side. It also seems like they're taking market share on the desktop side. I think AMD is going to continue to take market share from Intel, so Intel investors, definitely be careful if your bullish sentiment is the CPU side. Like I mentioned in previous episodes, Intel's potential is not, in my opinion, in the CPU side. It's more in the manufacturing side. So AMD is definitely gaining market share, and I'm just going to re-say, and AMD at 136, in my opinion, looks pretty attractive. So overall, very bullish for Nvidia. Some interesting news for AMD. I can't wait for earnings, and like I mentioned, if you really want the best earnings, make sure to subscribe to this channel, because I believe the information that I provide for AMD, for Nvidia, and some of the biggest and most advanced semiconductor companies out there in forms of investment and technology, I don't think no one does it better than me. So take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.